Yeah. So what does the future of work look like in your opinion?
At this point, no one really knows because of COVID, but but it will certainly be uh, more people centered. It will be about building the work around that person's circumstances. The idea of flexible working, working from home, that's now become an accepted part of the world of work. And no one's going to work for an organization anymore that says you have to be in the office 5 days a week, 9 to 5. It's just never going to happen. So it's going to change. Where work happens will be much more flexible, and we will see a continuing rise in freelance, what I call artisan-based work. You know, people who craft brewers, people who make bread, all those kinds of traditional crafts and skills, they've come back.
Mm-hmm. And how do you think students could better prepare themselves to be 21st century career ready? Although I know we're already 20 years in.
We're never going to have a situation where you have a job for life. You probably won't even, you'll have lots of contracts, but you won't have even 3 or 4 different jobs, as was the case maybe only 30 years ago. So the gig economy is shifting and changing, but it's not going to go away. So you need to be flexible and adaptable and recognize that you will learn something, you will put it into practice, then you'll get a different contract or a different employment scenario, and you'll have to learn something else. So the idea of I'm done with school, I'm done with university, I'm done with learning, that's never going to fly anymore. You've got to be a curious learner for the whole of your life. Whenever I give advice to parents about their kids, I always say, let them be curious. Let them exercise their imagination. That's not just a kind of warm, fluffy response. The world is such now that for their working lives, they will be doing many, many different things. The idea of a portfolio career is here. They will need to be curious. They'll need to learn new skills. Then they'll put them into practice. Then they'll need to learn other new skills because that contract came to an end and they're now doing something else. So the idea of the portfolio career is here. What that means in terms of learning is we're no longer going to think I'm 22 or 23, I've finished my degree, I'm done with formal learning. You will be continuing to learn throughout your life. So you may as well enjoy it, and you'll enjoy it if you're curious.
What do you personally value most, your work experience or your formal learning?
There is a thing that has emerged over the last 10 to 15 years, and it's called the 70-20-10 principle, which is that in your working life, 70% of the things that you learn are learned through observing others. You learn it on the job. About 20% of your learning happens through talking to other people, the classic water cooler conversations, and only 10% happens through formal training. So I've often said that I learned always better on the job. Now we've got evidence that makes sense. That applies to everyone. So I don't think there's even a debate anymore now about what's the most effective way to learn. What we have to do is completely rethink the formal training part to make it a bit more interesting. Because actually, when you look at the investment in organizational learning, that 70-20-10 proportions are almost reversed. 70% of spend on learning development goes on the 10% of the formal training. So yes, for me, the informal learning beats formal any day of the week.